Arthur felt the world lurch, his body pulled apart and reformed, or just transported so fast it felt like that. He was pretty sure he was being torn apart, transformed and reformed on the other end, like those Star Trek transporters, which, of course, came with all kinds of morality questions of whether they really were people, and if they could do this pulling apart, was it possible to create clones? All kinds of crazy questions. Except for the fact that the tower only ever created a single individual, and the way they could manage power, the memories, and the way they could control things, the idea of cultivation and the notices, it spoke of souls. Others had attempted, using tower abilities, to replicate the division process. In other words, cloning in the outside world. The closest to success merely created undifferentiated blobs of cells, the kind that gave nightmares because they just sat there. Stem cells, but not really, that had no face or shape. Some believed that it was clear evidence that a soul existed, was needed to create the right form. Others said that the cloners had just done it wrong, that they hadn't figured out how to transport memory properly. Arguments for philosophers and scientists and university kids in their ivory towers. As for Arthur, he was here. He had his spear, and he was looking out at the 6th floor. The good news on the 6th floor? The rest of his team were coming into being next to him, forming up. They weren't being split into separate groups since they had all entered the same portal. Better news? There were safe spots, tower buildings scattered throughout this floor. There wasn't a climber village, a central location where others congregated, though some had built small buildings next to the tower-administrated ones. Places they could stop, recuperate, and even buy new gear. All of which was great, except for the fact that the bad news was this floor. Someone had decided to make the entire layout a vertical one, making the idea of climbing a tower a reality. You started at the bottom, jumped, climbed, leapt or walked, and thus ascended a circular column. The fact that it was over 200 levels upwards, give or take a score or two, was one thing. The other was the constant rain of death. "Left!" Arthur called out, and the group shuffled away, watching as a large stone, a bouncing ball of doom, careened into the earth where they had been and ploughed into it.